For the final 6 stages of this year's Tour of Italy. The first of these, number 16 overall, offers 226 kilometres and 4 classified climbs, including the highest point of the Tour, the Passo Gavia. Climbing starts from the word go, with the ascents of the Passo della Presolana and the Croce di Salven. Then it's north for a first trip through Ponte di Legno. The road continues on towards the Passo Gavia and the Passo del Mortirolo, before a second visit to Vezza d'Orio and a short climb to the finish in Ponte di Legno.
What's up, guys?
Counter-attack by Uman.
Welcome back to PCM League. We are in stage 16 of the Tour of Italy, which is the Super Giro d'Italia. As you can see, take a look at this map. It's going to be a crazy one. We have some climbs over here, but we got 2 sprints. We got 2 sprints, 2 climbs. One of the climbs will have a maximum of 40 points, while the second one will be 30 points. So we'll see how it goes.
A couple of teams have set themselves up as pacemakers for the pack. They obviously don't have anybody in the breakaway group.
The beginning of the race, it starts off as an uphill, starts some climbs that, of course, because it's a mountain stage, so then they'll go down to a flat, it goes through a sprint, and after that, they'll go straight back to a climb. Let's take a look at O'Connor. O'Connor's trying to catch up to Iran. Iran is just who made the quick escape earlier in the race, at the start of the race, so we're seeing how this item goes. Bam! Basically, my strategy for this one, if I were to race this, my strategy would be to actually save energy for until the big climb. The Passo Gavia, which is a big climb worth a lot of points. If you get conquered through this big climb over here, then you'll have an easy chance of getting to the finish.
The pack is slowly whittling away the lead. Some team managers mustn't appreciate the fact that there is a breakaway, given that the pack has increased its speed.
The breakaway. And here comes everybody else. Basically, you have to get through those climbs first, so let's see if they're able to do it.
The little promenade is over. The group has been overhauled.
And we're back to the peloton already.
The riders have taken their foot off the accelerator. Either they're getting a bit hot, or they're saving themselves for the final dash.
It's not even final dash yet. Let's take a look at Tom. Thomas here. He's cruising on back. And here comes the climb at Passo della Presolana. As you can see. And we got another breakaway here. Take a look at this. Nutty. Zakarin. Herman's gonna join. There's like a few people attacking. They're trying to get through those climbs. Whoever's gonna get through those climbs will have a chance with this. Actually have a chance of this race.
That's more than 2 minutes separating them.
But
the pack really doesn't look interested in following the breakaway. Things have slowed right down.
We will be right back, everybody. And we are back with this race here. Take a look at the breakaway. It now becomes a 7-person breakaway I think they're approaching to 7.
They're heading downhill, so they've got to make sure to keep warm and make no mistakes on their trajectory.
7.5 minutes. It's like almost 7.5 minutes between the breakaway and a peloton. And mostly it's going to be downhill. most of it's gonna be all steep downhill. So wait till you get through the climb. If you're good at this climb, then good. But the lead could slip
Somebody says that a
away.
rider is down.
And Mendoza's fall down. He fell. And he was on the breakaway too. But he's trying to catch up to those guys here. Let's go back to the breakaway. See how they're doing. As McNulty here. I almost actually call it Nutty. And Carapaz fell down.
Fall in the pack!
Let's
Apparently, the leader is on the ground.
Parker Fuslang.
Watch out! A team leader is falling behind.
Fuslang is down. That might cost him the race. Fuslang crashed with Manata, Carapaz, and Pogacar. He fell down. And that would most likely cost him the race. It would most likely cost him the race.
The pack is increasing its work rate. Some teams can't be happy with the breakaway.
Let's see right here. And let's see here. Let's see how we're doing. They're keening on the breakaway here. Look at this. It's going down again. Down to 6 minutes ahead of the peloton is the breakaway. But they're actually slowing down. They might be slowing down just to save them energy. But let's take a look at Carapaz. Carapaz is at the back.
Uh-oh, the pack seems to have woken up and now they're gaining ground.
Including Fuslang. Fuslang is in the lead of
The breakaway
GC.
is not to everybody's liking. The peloton has significantly increased its
If
speed.
he wants to keep his GC, the top of the GC, his pink jersey, he absolutely needs to try and catch back up to the peloton here. But let's take a look at Hugh. At Hull, he is 36th in the GC with 100 in the PC, 1 point. Biggest from last climb. Let's take a look at Shintra. Here, highlighting out these races, combatant here. But see, let's take a look at Uran. Uran he decided he went back to the peloton, even though he had a early advantage.
The pack is reducing the advantage with every turn of the pedal.
But they're reducing the advantage. They're now down to like 4 minutes and 10 seconds left. As they're making their way to the sprint. If we can sprint, take a look at this climb. We got the steep climb there, flat road, and then steep climb in Tau. We have to wait and see what happens here. Herman, they're forming a 7-rider relay right now, as of now, and who knows? People over the chain.
Look, the pack has taken its foot off the gas. The team leaders can't be too worried about the breakaway.
see, there's the 7-minute breakaway. But here, take a look back at the peloton. That's the peloton, guys, and they're trying to go through a relay to actually try and get back to the breakaway. But speaking of breakaway, they're leaning on towards the sprint. Here's the sprint over here, the sprint line. Who's gonna make it first to get those points? And it is no contest as they decide to ride it out. They decide to ride it out. Aru, McNulty, Meadows, who automatically recovered from the crash and went back and came back to the breakaway. And then we got Hermans, Omens, and Higgs. As we see the rest of the guys in. We'll be right back, guys. As they're gonna start the climb. And we are back, guys, for, again, this is number stage 16. We're taking a look at the breakaway group over here. McNulty, as we start the Paso Gavia climb. It's for somewhat of a steep climb, pretty much a very steep climb here. And this is going to be a challenge for the breakaway, as the breakaway has 7 minutes and 20 seconds ahead of the peloton. As you see here, there's the peloton over here. They're not gaining an inch. As we see Paul is over here. I think he came back to the peloton earlier, and he's just hanging out there at the front. He just made it back to the front of the peloton. But this is the climb here. This is the climb. We take a look at the helicopter shot. This is the helicopter shot of the climb. The climb is being wicked. It's very steep. We try to go through all this power.
The breakaway is not to everybody's liking. The peloton has significantly increased its speed.
But let's go around for the car clean.
It's in such percentages that the strongest can create some gaps.
We don't even know how they're going to try and do this. But let's go take a look back Let's take a look back at the peloton. The peloton, I think the peloton started their climb. It's a climb section, but this is how steep the climb is. If you can see from over this section, they might come up here, but it's a massive
The pace
climb.
seems much too high for many riders.
It's a massive climb. 8 minutes and 45 seconds ahead of the peloton is the breakaway.
The pack is increasing its work rate. Some teams can't be happy with the breakaway.
I mean, that's one way. You can just conquer the climb and then you just basically hold nothing back because you save a lot of energy downhill. The climb is where you have to conquer. But this is a massive climb. If you can get through this climb, that pretty much you'll have an easier access. Obviously your ass is red, but it's a here. This as they're approaching the 5 kilometers remaining of the
The breakaway continues to look better by the second. It could work.
But this breakaway, as you see, someone fell back.
A couple of teams
Omen.
have set themselves up as pacemakers for the pack.
Omen
They
fell.
obviously don't have
Back.
anybody in the breakaway
He
group.
fell back. As the breakaways, they're going to be Amadeus. It's challenging. It's a challenging climb. If you're able to get through this climb, then you have a chance of winning this. You have to get through this climb first. We don't know who's gonna do it. But the climbing is not only taking a mental test. It's not only taking a physical test here, physical test on your legs, but also a mental test. Because you have to think if you're able to survive.
The entente in the escape group is far from cordial.
See, and
There are a
it's-
couple of riders who want to
guys,
go it alone. Some
we're
team
approaching
managers
1 minute
mustn't
mark.
appreciate the fact that there is a
Who's gonna get
breakaway,
the
given that the
maximum
pack has
of
increased
40?
its speed.
Here they come, and after that they'll have to go downhill. They'll have to go downhill over here, and then we'll just have to figure it out. Look at this. Zachrin gets the climbing points. Wow, wait a minute. It's Herman. Herman gets 40. Zachrin, then Hags, and then McNulty, Aru.
Attack! It's a good moment to show the team colors.
And then, remember, Tom 9's getting points here.
They're over the top and heading down the other side at a fair lick.
Omen.
They'll be able to get some strength back.
But, I mean, this will be a really, this is a difficult test for everybody. Here comes O'Connor. Here comes O'Connor over here. O'Connor. One more person is gonna get points here. Climbing points. And the winner is hurt. You have to get through this climb. If you're able to get through this climb, then you'll be able to finish the race because it's long downhill and you can get your energy back. It's as long as you can survive the climb. But I didn't climb takes its toll from the people at the rear. Look at this. More people are falling back. More people are falling back.
So this is the last third of the race. Anyone who is gunning for victory has got to make a move fairly soon.
But we have to take a short break as everybody is going through the most difficult challenge of this thing. We'll be right back. And we are back with this race here. As you see, we have a breakaway of 5 right now. And here comes Madolus. He's coming back. Ullman trying to get back to work. And we have O'Connor trying to get breakaway. But 5 kilometers till the sprint of Mazo de Valtellina. And this is gonna be, this is up. Cramps here. And because the sprint, there's the sprint line. Who's gonna make it? Who's gonna make it? It looks like they're gonna ride it out into the line. Herman's gonna get those points. Actually, it's Aru is gonna get those points.
The riders are in a portion above 10%.
They're Herman, they make Nulty, and then Maduls. But as we wait for everybody, they're at the start of the climb. This is a brutal climb of Paso del Monterello. This is the climb for the final climb points of the stage. And it's a steep climb too. Again, steep climb too. Very steep. Whoever survives this, I sure is gonna be crazy. The climb here. McNulty, we'll take a look at McNulty here. I believe Aru is gonna get points. Definitely is getting points. I'll take a look back at the peloton. Look at the peloton here. Steep climb. Very steep. Steeply. Steep climb. But I want to take a look at the leader. Fu Slang came back. He's coming back. He's at the front now. Once you fall, if you're able to come back into the peloton, then that means you're unscathed. But let's take a look at the climb at the breakaway. As we see someone dropped out. Madol's, his energy is lackluster. It's lackluster. Lackluster kind of version. Have to wait and see for this.
This climb features some dreadful percentages.
Bardet goes onto the attack.
But they attack it. It's really steep. It's a matter of who can climb it to the top. It's really hard. Very steep. It's a very steep section, and then it goes a little bit, and then it goes back to a steep section as there are 5 kilometers left into the climb. There are few Aru. But we're looking at Herman McNulty.
The current pace is a bit too docile for some riders who are looking to create a breakaway.
This is a tough challenge. This is a really tough challenge.
Falling behind! A team leader is falling behind!
Take a look at the rope here. And then we see the peloton. Peloton's back. They're back at it with the peloton. Thomas is just keeping his cool ground. He wants to get his leader spot back. But let's take a look at the breakaway. This is a massive climb. It's a massive
Several
climb.
riders are attempting to break away!
Nabali is trying to break away here. As we see, Aru just fall back behind. He went back. It's this difficult climb here. I tell you, if you can get through this climb, no matter what, you can win the race here. You'll be able to find out how to get a best finish. Now we're down to 3 in the breakaway. As see, Nabali is coming up. McNulty is.
This climb is feared by many riders. The percentages are very high.
1 kilometer remaining. Here's a look at the finishing touch. As you can see by the background, there's the breakaway here. The climb is really dreadful. It's really dreadful.
Aha! He's trying to give his pals the slip!
It's really dreadful. And it belongs to... Ooh, I don't know.
The riders must be careful. This downhill is known to be very dangerous.
Zachary Higgs and McNulty are the 4. Landa, then Thomas, then Fu Slang, and then Nabali. And Fu Slang just came back. Back with this, everybody just... It's pure exhaustion. sheer exhaustion. They're exhausted. They are so exhausted from this climb. This climb is taking a lot of energy out of them. But this is the downhill. Herman coming back down. It's steep. You don't want to ride over the cliff. If you ride over the cliff, you're dead. Just like Chris Deadeye. Chris Deadeye did. You gotta be careful with this.
The riders are entering the last 15 kilometers of the stage.
Now look at this. If you can tell who win this one. And back to the hills they go.
Now the guys up front are asking serious questions of the riders in the rear as more of them are left in the wake.
But there are a lot of people There are a lot of people at the back. Take a look. Now they're at the forefront of this. Thomas here.
Kreuziger has fallen.
Kreuziger fell down. We had to take a look at this. He fell in the downhill section. But we gotta take a look at the breakaway.
Attack with the finishing line within reach! There are just 10 kilometers
10
left.
kilometers left of the race. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna cross the line first? Who's gonna win this race? Herman, Haig, battling out. Zachary. And McNulty. Top four right now. Herman. We can see Herman. Just trying. See Herman.
The riders are going through a very tough portion with percentages above 10%.
Bolas is just fell backwards.
So now it's the descent. It's less physically exhausting than a climb, but it's more stressful as the riders must choose their trajectory well and maintain a good position on the bike. The finish line is getting close. The riders just passed the 5 kilometers road sign.
Look at Herman. Look at Herman. Herman's getting close. He's getting close to the finish. 3 kilometers left for Point Delegno. Point Delegno. You see Hermy. 2 kilometers left. Can he go through it? Here comes Haig. Haig is closing in. Oh boy, who's gonna make a finish? Who's gonna make to the finish line?
Attacked by Bardet.
Who's gonna get it? Who's gonna get it? Who is going to get it? It will be Hermy.
And the final sprint is off. Who's going to be the first to the line today?
Herman.
Fabulous! He got the better of his breakaway companions to win this race.
Zachary. Then McNulty. And then his stride. It looks like Murata. Thomas in 6th place. Kokuchar. Roti. Landa. Higita. Is laying in 4th. The leader in 4th. 11th place. Bardet. In 12th. Woods in 6th.
The riders bringing up the rear have made it through sheer willpower. This stage was a real strength sapper.
Who actually came through in basically the first half of the tour. First few stages. But I believe there's several. There's the strength zapper. No. This is strength zapper here. He took a look at the finish. Oh boy, and there's, look at the massive sprint right here. Oh god. Yeah. They have 1 hour, 26 minutes, and 33 seconds for the time cap. As you see several guys finishing. Yoink. And yeah. I mean, you gotta take a look at the back. Look at this.
We're into the downhill section. The riders can take a breather, but they can't let their guard drop.
Look at this. Barbier, I don't think he's gonna make it.
The riders are going through a very tough portion.
Take a look at Barbier. Barbier is not doing really well with this. Let's take a look. As Swift coming across the line now. They're coming across the line now. See, everybody's finishing up. Seriously. I see everybody's finishing up now. Basically, they're just finishing the race and keep them alive in fourth. Like everybody's just trying to get through everything. Who's left? Who is left? Pretty sure nobody's left. Coming out, Weezer. What the heck? Alonso here. Mullen. Look at Mullen. It's a fight to survive. To see another let's say goodbye. Mullen finishes. Take a look at Alonso. Alonso is trying to finish this. I'm gonna finish this. I think Alonso made it. He makes it. Alonso made it. Kevin Dallas made it. Take a look, yeah, made it. Let's take a look at Weezer. Pushing hard. Pushing hard. Pushing hard. Just like when Chris Gaga is trying to push to get his baby out. Caminox. Then we got Klug. Klug finished. Udag finishes. Wojciech's finished. Which means we see Vastra. Vastra's a good slowdown. That's here. And Vastra made it just in time. Well, let's take a look at Barbier. Once that clock strikes, then he's out. You're out of time. If you're out of time, that means you're out of the tour. Can Barbier do it? Can Barbier do it? Can Barbier do it? He has 10 minutes. 10 seconds. Yeah. I think 10 minutes, yeah. 10 minutes. Can he do it? And he made it with 6 minutes, with just over 6 minutes.
And just in case you missed them, here are the race highlights.
Just over 6 minutes. But Herman takes the summits for this one, which leaves Bruce Slang still in the lead. Landa second, Hugita third, and Thomas moves up to fourth. Jovenwagen keeping the points, but Zachrin now leads the mountain climb. Hugita is still in the lead for the Young Riders. I didn't think Higuitas took that off. I didn't think he took it off. But UAE Team Emirates, new leaders of the team. But that's it for stage 16. We'll see you guys in stage 17.